Parashat Nasso is a message about spiritual realignment. As we all journey on our path of life, many times we can get lost. How many times have you gone to a place or gone on a trip and all of a sudden you seem to lose your way and you look for directions, you try to find your way back. Eventually you have to speak with someone or pull out a map, and then you plot your course and you get back on track. Well, Parashat Nasso is a message about realigning ourselves and getting back on track. V'hitvadu et chataim. They shall confess their sins. V'hitvadu et chatatam asher asu. They shall confess their sin that they committed. Notice the two different sentences. They shall confess their sins. Then it says they shall confess their sins they have committed. It almost sounds like it's one and the same. But actually there are two messages here. Because there is a foundation. A lot of times people will make their resolutions and express regrets. That's wonderful, but that's not solving your problem. What you need to look for is your root cause. For it says that there are foundations of root causes for why you do what you do. For example, if a person talks about taking something, jealousy and coveting the property of others will eventually cause one to steal. One sin is the harbinger of another. See, because when one wants to do something, there is a foundation of taking. We are all here on borrowed time with borrowed skills, because God has provided us with everything. And when we fail to use the skills that He has lent us for something positive, we have inadvertently stolen from Him. So as a result, when you just simply regret a crime, so to speak, or a sin, that's the beginning. But the true action is to confess it. Because when you openly acknowledge and you face what it was that you did, and you looked at the root cause, you can build a pathway to repentance. There's a statement that says, the path away from God is also the road back. Tshuva, which means return. Because you see, when one sins, you're not just taking from yourself. You are taking from God. And I quote, the eye see, the heart desires, and the limbs complete the task. Which is actually a way to repentance. One must channel this situation positively. And I quote from the book of Isaiah, raise your eyes on high and see who created these. See, what you have to come to realize is that you have to thank God for everything. Because since He has given you everything and laid your foundation, it is your job to work with what you've been given. In Pirkei Avos, we are often told the task is long and the time is short. But we cannot run away. We must do. And you cannot say that when you have time, then you will do. For you do not know your destiny. You do not know your foundation. Perhaps you will always be under a situation of duress, and you will not have that so-called moment, as I had the privilege to sit before you today, and be comfortable and learn. It could be that you might have to do what I did in my past, which is in between patients, or if I had a moment to grab a bite, I might meditate on a topic, or I might open a book, look for a couple of minutes, because even in as little as 5 minutes, you can enrich yourself spiritually. There is a statement where it says, V'ish et kadshav lo yihiyu ish asher yitain lekohen lo yiyeh. A man's holy shall be his, and what a man gives to a kohen shall be his. A lot of times people go to do a mitzvah, and afterwards they will regret it. The minute you have decided that what you have done is of no value, then you are correct. It has no value. No value in this world, no values in the eyes of God. However, when you yourself seek to do a good deed, and you assign great value to it, like for example, taking care of the tuition for your children, it could be you will do a lot of self-sacrifice, and you will bend over backwards in all different directions to make sure your children have a good Torah education. The reward for this mitzvah is beyond comprehension, because you have determined that it is very important. Your reward for any mitzvah you do is really determined by you. You have set the parameters. You have set the value. The more you value something, the more important it becomes. So when you've decided that helping someone was of no consequence and of no value, you are correct. You have negated it. Nasso itself has a few words in it. When you hear the word Nasso, you think of the word to carry, you can think of traveling, and you almost could hear the word nace. Now granted, those are different letters, but you can hear all of these. You could almost hear the word Nasayo test. How are you going to be carried through your exams? How are you going to weigh these tests? By your values, your foundation, and how you choose to perceive things. God will carry you according to the path that you choose. And He will lead you accordingly. So you have to choose very carefully, and you need to analyze things. And when you need that spiritual alignment, so to speak, each day it's good, whether you're with a friend or on your own. You could re-examine your day, do your own introspection, and make an accounting of what you are doing. And by doing this, you can then look at the root causes of why certain things were not accomplished, or why you might have made certain mistakes. And when you do this, then you truly can come to spiritual realignment. May we all be blessed with the ability to look at ourselves in the mirror and to be able to analyze what it is that we are doing so that we can effect a positive change and spread positive energy everywhere. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful day and a good Shabbos.